Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sunita Bulla. In this session, we are going to discuss about how to Dockerize Fullsatck application from Git repositories. So before coming to this experiment, all of you should complete practical 5. So Dockerize Fullsatck application. Then only come to the skill 11. To do this experiment, whatever we use the project e-commerce full stack app, I have taken that full stack application. See here, this is a full stack application, front end, back end, and compose. First of all, delete this compose file and go to the front end. Now here, delete Docker file, delete nginx config file. Now we deleted all files related to the Docker. Now again go to backend. Here also delete Docker file. See here, it is a full stack application. E-commerce full stack application. Front end, there is no Docker files. Next one, backend, there is no Docker files. Okay. And now first what we have to do, take a notepad, First of all, to do this experiment, push front end and backend into GitHub. So now, first of all, create one front-end repository and push your front-end code, and create back-end repository and push your back-end code. Go to GitHub, and now click on new repository. Let me check what is the repository name. Docker e-commerce frontend. With the same name, create one repository, Docker e-commerce frontend. Repository created. All of you, first of all, before pushing the project folder, so open your front-end. Now check, go to the view, hidden items, enable hidden items. If there is any .git folder is there, okay. Now first this .git folder, then only we can push our project. Why? Because when if you are using the same project, my origin already stored inside the project. So first of all, delete my origin. That origin located in a .git folder. So whenever you are taking any folder from others or any folder from a GitHub, so first what we have to do, Just go to the view, click on hidden items, delete .git folder. Then only we can upload the project. Otherwise, we cannot. I mean, it gives the error. Now, copy these commands from git init. Instead of readme, use the dot. Just here, you can open this front end with the VS Code or uh, command prompt. So all of you, okay, go to the VS Code by using this one. Open folder skill 11 e-commerce full stack app front end. Open the front end. Terminal should be command prompt. Now paste your click on. Now project pushed into GitHub. Okay. Then now project is available in GitHub repository. Now come here, copy this URL. This is front end URL. Front end git URL. Okay. Similarly, backend. Again, create one repository for backend. Go to GitHub. Click on plus symbol, new repository. Now copy this one, paste here. Open backend project with the VS Code and push your backend project into GitHub. Again, this is front end project. Okay. Now open backend folder. Now this is our backend project. Now backend project pushed into GitHub. Go to the GitHub and refresh here. So now front and backend is available in a GitHub. So now again copy URL. Backend GitHub URL. Now backend GitHub URL. Now let's start our project. So now here what we are going to do, we are going to Dockerize our full stack application by using this Git repositories. Now we don't need any physical project. We are going to clone this Git repositories for to do this experiment. So now here I got an error with the port number. That is the reason I am suggesting. So this is not mandatory for everyone. Before coming to before going to execute this project, uh, better to check port numbers are available or not. Okay. Now check all port numbers are available or not. Okay. So now here what are the port number we are using? Front end host port number is 3000 and deploying on Nginx server 80. Similarly, backend host port number is 8080 and deploying on 8081. Okay, next one database. Now port number is 3306 deploying on 3306. Okay, these are the port number we need to check. So these are these are available or not. So first what we have to do to check this purpose, this is the command we need to use. These are the first of all, this is the command we need to use to check the port number. First of all, by using this command we need to check any location. You can go with the open your command prompt. Simply open command prompt. Now here take this one. If you want to check the port number is available or not, now here type here I want to check first uh, front end port number 3000. Now it's available. There is no error message. Now again 8081. This is also available. No issue. Next one 3306. So now 3306 also available. So now we can use our, for example, I have 8080 already allocated for Tomcat, right? So now we will check. See here when I type the 8080, the port number is allocated for some other application. So now that application we need to start or stop. If any port number is allocated uh, like this, now what we have to do? Then we need to go for the alternate port number, or if you want to stop locally at present, now this is the command we need to use. Net, for example, MySQL 3306 binded with any other port number. Now what we have to do? For example, okay, net stop MySQL 80 3306 is not available. Then you can type net stop MySQL 80. And if you want to start if you want to start later, then we need to use the net start MySQL 80. So if it is not available, then go with this command. If it is available, then no need to worry. Okay. Now these are the commands. Next one, step 3, create Docker files and Docker compose for application. Okay. First of all, uh, we should understand we are not working with the physical project directories. We are going to work on Git repositories. Now in the local system we don't need any project. We already pushed our project into a Git repository. So now what we have to do? So here what we have to do first of all. So whatever our project we are pushed here, there is no Docker files. We deleted all everything. Okay, we deleted everything. Docker related to Docker, everything we deleted. So that is the reason. First of all, what we have to do, just take one project directory, any directory. Let's assume the project name is Docker Git Fullsatck app. Here in this directory, what we need to create here. First of all, let's come with the front end. So now when you are working with the front end, remember we created two files. One is one Docker file and second one nginx config file. Two files we created. Now here in this folder we are going to create Docker file. Here we are changing the Docker file name dockerfile.println. Dockerfile.println. In this Dockerfile.println we are going to we are going to give the path of GitHub related to the front end. We are giving the front end path in a Docker file. Now and remaining commands as usual same. Okay, now this is the Docker file for the front end. Now when coming to the um, back end, so now here we are going to create a one Docker file dot backend, Docker file dot backend. Now in this backend we are giving the path of this application, path of your Git repository, backend Git repository. Now next, finally, we are going to create a Docker Compose file. Docker Compose.yaml file. Now here in this Docker Compose.yaml file, we are giving their information between three containers. Information of three containers. One is a DB container, one is a front end container, and backend container. So this is our project structure. Here we are not using any code. We are not using any physical code. Just what we are doing, we are using only Docker files only. We are using Docker files only. In this the Docker file, when you run the Docker Compose, so the Docker Compose redirecting to the Docker file frontend, and it cloning the project from the GitHub and executing, and again it redirecting to the Docker file.backend, it cloning the backend project, executing, finally we will get the output. Okay, now first of all I have already created project, so let me show you now scale 11. So see here Docker Git full stack application. Now Docker Git full stack application, see here when you observe this project structure, so these are the files we are going to execute. First of all, let me open this project with the VS Code. Now file, open folder, skill 11 full stack app. Okay, now here I created two files. When you are taking the class in front of the student, create one by one files. Now here what I am doing. So let me explain one by one. So first come to the front end. Okay. Now open the front end Docker file. See here, same as usual. All commands are same. Now first one, take the one node Alpine server. Now here, after taking the node Alpine, create one web directory. It creates one web directory. Directory name is app. Now after that, what we have to do in this Alpine image, in this Alpine server, first of all we need to install the Git. Okay, and now this is a Linux command. This is a Linux command to install the Git. Now it installing the Git software into the Alpine server. Now this is first what we are doing. When you writing this command, what it will do. First of all, it launch the one Linux server. On the top of the Linux server, it install the node Alpine, and on the top of the node Alpine, it install the Git software. Okay. Now after that, after installing the Git, now what it doing? It cloning the project. Okay. And now here we are giving the path. It cloning the project and followed by here what we are doing, followed by dot. Okay, entire project it cloning. Okay, then after cloning the entire project, now next the command npm install npm build. Then after successful, it going to deploy. We already know this path. Then everything we know. Now next, whatever your application, that application is deploying on the Nginx server. The Nginx config file we know as same file. Here nothing is there. Now this is the Docker file related to the front end. Okay. Now open backend Docker file. Same Docker file. In the backend, what we are doing, just take a Maven German server. Now here in this one app directory, install and update everything. Now here git also install git and clone your project, clone entire project into that particular image and mount, create, convert your project into jar file. We need jar file in the docker. We need jar file. Okay. Now here same taking the jar file, we are deploying the jar file into the this Eclipse Alpine. Okay. Now this is related to the backend server. Now next, close your backend. Docker files are ready. In a final file, main file, Docker compose file. So in this Docker compose file, so now all of you no need to worry about your local system, MySQL username, password. There is a no rule, no need to use local system, MySQL username and password. Here we are creating the container, not working with your local system, MySQL software. Here we are going with the container. No need to change, no need to edit this username and password. Right? So now all of you take with this file without any doubt. Now what we are doing, if whatever your local system username, local system password, leave it about that. This is the container, DB container we are creating. So MySQL image we are taking from the Docker Hub. Okay, this MySQL is going to deploy on a Linux server. So that is the reason we no need to worry about that. This is the container. It's going to deploy in the container. We are using that container for our project purpose. We don't need to worry with the local system username and password. No need to change anything. Okay, if you're in your project, you are using your own MySQL credentials. Here you need to change. Now, whatever we push the project, see here, I push the backend project. This backend project contains main right resources. Now, here, if you are using your own credentials here, then you need to change the credentials in this file. If you are not using your own credentials, now no need to worry. No need to worry about the username and password. Now here services. First one is a DB service we already know, and second one backend purpose. In this backend purpose, we are not giving any local directory location. Right? Simply we are calling Docker file backend. Okay. Now what happens? The cursor redirecting to the Docker file backend and executing Docker file backend and comes here. After enter execution, then it comes to the project. Okay. Next one, here data source URL is 3306 e-commerce and 3306 e-commerce. Uh, then this we know already backend. Now here this is only we are changing Docker file backend. That's it. Now next front-end. Here also front-end, Docker file front-end we are giving. There are two networks we use. Only single network we are using. Network name is e-commerce network. When you executed this file, what happens? It created totally 6 components. So what are the 6 components? 3 images. First of all, DB image, backend image, and front-end image, e-commerce network. Okay. So after 3, these are the 4, and after that DB container, backend container, and front-end container. Totally 7 elements it created when I executed this compose file. Okay, first how to execute this compose file? Go to the terminal and take new terminal. Terminal should be command prompt. Type the command docker compose docker compose app hyphen d hyphen build. Okay. And now before executing this command, we should open Docker desktop. Without opening the Docker desktop, don't execute the compose file. Your Docker desktop should be signed in with your Docker Hub account. Then only it brings the DB image. MySQL is a DB image. The MySQL image is downloading from the Docker Hub. So that is the reason what we have to do. We need to execute this command after signing with the Docker desktop. Okay. Whenever your desktop not responding, simply open your command prompt, type WSN hyphen hyphen update, then it updates all the WSN related things. It clears cache. Then open our Docker desktop. So now it's open. Check. Simply whenever your Docker desktop not responding, simply open your command prompt, type command WSL hyphen hyphen update, then it update WSL, it will open Docker desktop. Now see here, I deleted all the images and containers. Let me delete. Now there is no images and no containers for me. Okay. Now execute command docker compose app. Now it's going to download MySQL image to the Docker image. Now see here, DB completed, database created. Second one, so see here it cloning the project, backend project. So we got an error. We got errors, no need to worry. So don't be panic. So due to the internet issue, it will got. Now see here, backend image created, front-end image created, and network created, and DB container image created and started. E-commerce backend container create started, and front-end started. Now go to Docker Hub. There are three images: Fullsatck front-end image, back-end image, MySQL. Go to the container. So in this container, it created the compose stack. So it is the container stack. So all containers are started. Now click here. We can see three containers. We can see three containers here. One is a front-end container, second one is back-end container, third one is a DB container. Now click on front-end. Click on sign up. Give any details. Sign up failed. Why? Everything is okay. So now it's working. So it's working, but we are seeing first of all open. We are unable to see any products, right? Already a data is available inside a database. That is the reason it's showing like that. Now if you want to see the products, we already know procedure. So we need to open DB container, MySQL DB container. We have already commands. what are the commands in the last experiment we did commands. So these are the commands. For you it will work, you don't worry. So now these are the commands we need to execute. E-commerce DB, MySQL. So check the container name, e-commerce DB. Now execute this command. We can open MySQL. MySQL. It opens MySQL container. Now execute all. So these two are the tables. Select start from users. So see here A inserted. So I clicked submit button 2 times. So that is the reason we got a failed error. Okay. Now so this that users inserted. Again insert all the payment. I mean all the categories. Now select star from products. Now so these are the tables. Next go to your front end. Backend work we already know how to check the backend. Now front end refresh your page. We can fetch the your backend details. Right. Now log out. Again sign up. Click on sign up. Um, Sign up successful. Log in with the bill. We can this one will execute. So this is the way we will containerize Fullsatck application for GitHub repositories. Thank you very much.